stick around, come through and dig the sound of the fly brown 6060 cycle. Who those hits around, bound to go through black. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting episode of Wine Down with Kev. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch us on live stream, whether you're catching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Thank you. Double thank you to all of you who have already clicked the like and the subscribe program. We could not do it without you. The more of you to do that, the more amazing content we will be able to continue to bring to you. Thank you to my sponsors. You see it behind me, Canopy Connect. If you're looking to advance your agency into the digital age, use Canopy Connect. Get more data, close more business. Canopy Connect, check them out. Thank me later. My other sponsor, Carol Media. Thank you, Carol Media. I talk to so many agents say, Kevin, I want to post more. I want to get my name out there on social media. I don't know how. 2 words, Carol Media. Contact them, whatever social media platform they're on. You'll find them. Thank me later with Carol Media. I've been able to get viewed on social media and maintain top of mind awareness for my agency the last 2 years over 1 million times. Wow. Thank you, Carol Media. And nothing happens without the support of my banking partner, Wintrust Financial. That being said, today we're bringing you an amazing podcast from the great state of Wisconsin. Today we're going to meet an agent. Think about 10 years in the business. She's absolutely phenomenal. She is a winner of all the sales awards at the highest level. She shares one thing in common with me. She's a Ray Lynch Award level winner. That means she dedicates her heart to giving back to the community. And she is a leader amongst leaders. She's one of the coordinators of the Midwest Forum, where she brings agents together from more than 35 states throughout the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your warm Wine Down with Kev hands together and give a nice welcome to Monica Titley. Monica, how are you today?
Hello. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Monica, the easy place to start would be talking about insurance, but you are a b-ball mom. I am a b-ball dad. Gotta say retired because my kids have aged out of the fun stuff you're doing now. But let's talk about the fun stuff. What is it like being the mom of children that play AAU basketball and AAU soccer?
And AAU volleyball. So I have 2 teenage daughters, and they're both on a national level for one sport each. So we have my youngest is a 14-year-old for basketball, and my oldest is 15 with volleyball. And it is national. This weekend I will be in Ohio.
Yes.
Last weekend I was in Kansas. So it's I'll be honest with you, I love every second of it. I once was on a podcast and they were talking about your cup and how you fill your cup up. And I'll tell you, my cup is running over on a consistent basis. I cannot find better joy than watching my kids play sports. It's amazing. Now, it's exhausting, not gonna lie. I've been out of state every weekend for the last 3 weekends, and I will for the next 2. But there's just so much joy. There's nothing better, really.
Monica, I love it. I miss the life. I've lived it 3 times with each of my sons. My youngest is now 21, so I'm off the circuit, Monica. I miss those. I miss those weekends. So I want you to take in every moment. So, Monica, some people, we're all fans of our various sports. Doesn't matter if it's soccer, volleyball, or basketball, or any other sport. But to compete at the national level, let's start the conversation with the sacrifices your daughters make. So I know the weekends are built with the actual tournaments. What does a weeknight look like? How many nights of practice, how many nights of private training go into their preparation so they can show up and compete on a national level?
It's three days a week. At least. So my daughter who plays volleyball has 8 hours of practice. That's just in the gym practice for volleyball. That's 8 hours a week, 3 days a week. And then like tonight she'll go because she plays high school soccer. So
Yes.
from 4 from 4 to 5:30 she has soccer. From 5:30 to 8 she has volleyball. And then from 8:30 until 9:30 she has private lessons also. And we have something every single day of the week. I don't normally get home until 9-ish every night. But like you said, it goes fast, and I wouldn't change it. And the sacrifices are hard. It's very hard for them, but I have never once coerced them or forced them. It is all them. They're the ones driving it. And if you'd ask them, they'd want to be on the court more. My daughter had a night off where she just had one sport, and we went to the local athletic center and she played another 2 hours of volleyball. They want it.
I love it. I love it. So I count it without a calculator. I counted up until about 5 hours of reps, right? Doing the practice, doing the drill, during the private training, the footwork, the speed, the conditioning, everything that goes in. And it goes without saying, my guess is that both girls are also stellar students.
Yeah, yep. 4.0 for my older daughter. My freshman is 4.0. My 14-year-old is almost a 4.0. They don't do actual grades in 8th grade, but she's got all A's and ABs. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. The non-participating parent in this might ask the question, if they're playing all the time, when do they do their schoolwork? Here's the funny thing, rule in life for sports, rule in life for business. If you want something done, find a busy person. They can manage their time. They find a way. So thank you for the girls that you're raising. They're going to contribute to the world and to this wonderful country in a great way because they know how to master their time. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Monica, let's pivot to insurance. Tell us your origin story. If my Facebook research is correct, you've been an agent for a little over 10 years now. Did you celebrate your 10th year?
10th year, the beginning of this year. Yep. Very exciting I can't believe it's been 10 years. In one moment, it'll feel like it was yesterday. And then the next minute, it's like, oh, that was like eons ago. So it's weird how it shifts, right?
So I don't have a calculator in front of me. I could be wrong. So you become an agent. You've got 2 little ones, 4 and 5 at home. Where did we find you at? How did we get you over to the winning side at Allstate? What'd you do before?
Before this, I was a VP of operations for credit union associations. So I have always been the number 2 in a business, right? It's always been the boss, and I'm just under it. And I, quite frankly, you realize you're kind of the one running the show as the number 2. Let's be real, right? So come from entrepreneur kind of ish parents that have taught me how to work very hard at a very young age. 8 years old, I was hauling boxes and stuff like that for small business owners. And so it was finally, I had moved back to Wisconsin and I wanted something different. And I've always thought I wanted to be number 1 of the business and actually own something. So I saw an ad for Allstate on Craigslist, which sounds weird. I don't even know if Craigslist is relevant anymore. But I literally saw an ad on Craigslist, be your own boss, on an Allstate agency. And very quickly signed on. It didn't take long at all. I met with Allstate one time and said, this is it. Let's do this, and jumped right in.
I love it. I love it. So in the comments, no laughing at Craigslist. My best hire to this date, she'll celebrate her 10th year this July 2015. I found her on Craigslist. So get rid of that reference to the scary Lifetime movies that you're thinking about. We found Monica. We don't do it. I know where the mind goes. The mind goes to a dark place. They think about some stalker movie from Lifetime or something bad like that. Hey, DJ, what's up? I'm in the middle of recording the podcast.
I know, man.
No. Yeah. So, this guy, we want to talk about something different. He's trying to get his website and his Google My Business page going.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, well, everybody knows you helped me to get to the 2 Comma Club, but and be seen by a couple of million people. But this person wants to do something different. They're trying to run ads to their book of business, their model line campaigns, and stuff like that.
I know, Kev.
Oh man, well, DJ, talk to the people, man, so I can get back to the podcast. How can you help?
Yeah, man. So listen, I can help you by running monoline ads to your auto, your home, as well as optimizing your website, your Google business profile, and your social media outlets. We can do the exact same thing we've done for Kevin over the years and get you in front of millions of sets of eyeballs to help you grow your business. Contact Carroll Media today. Kev, let them know.
DJ, I appreciate you jumping in the podcast. Hit up Carroll Media. DJ, I gotta go. I gotta get back to the podcast.
I know.
So Monica, we got you 10 years ago. You want to be number one. Now I see where the competitive drive comes from that your daughters have. Do you take credit for the competitive drive, or does your husband get credit as well?
No, that would be me. He's got a little bit of he's very competitive on board games. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But I don't want to take credit for my daughters. I will tell you, the biggest lesson I've learned with having little athletes is, and it's become a huge life lesson that you can take anywhere, is you can't want more for someone than they want for themselves.
Yes.
And I have learned, I learned that early on when they started wanting it. And I did used to push them, like, why aren't you in the gym? Why aren't you doing these things? And I quickly realized I was actually making it worse with them. And I couldn't handle the anxiety of wanting it so bad for them. And so I have learned over the last couple of years to just take a step back. And my competitiveness can't be through them. They have to have that competitiveness. And so I do a lot of, I'd say, I always tell them, and I know the stat is wrong, 90% of sports is mental, the rest 10% is talent. And so I do teach them a lot on the mental side of it. But I installed it, but then I quickly moved away from them and let them do it themselves, because that's my job as their mom.
I love it. To be there to support, enable them to win, but at their pace and their own way. Monica, what do you love about being an Allstate agent?
Ooh, I love helping people, just to know that their worst day ever, right? Their house is burning or they're in a bad car accident. I make their day not as bad. You just make them a little bit better. And the joy that you can see that when you help someone, that's where the sweet sauce is.
I love it. I love it. When you say that, that you help someone make their worst day better, is there a claim or a situation that comes to mind, maybe where you convince someone to get coverages that they need, but they didn't want to pay for it, but thank God they did, because when the claim happened, you were able to deliver on the promise and put their lives back together quickly?
Yeah, I did. I did have a customer who we convinced to get an umbrella, because I find umbrellas, I can tell any single person in this world, like, they need an umbrella. Some people are, I'm a single mom. I'm like, yeah, you count on all your dollars. Don't garnish it. So the umbrella, and then they actually had to use it. And it was that moment of when the wife called in on the claim, and you just get that sinking in your stomach of, oh no. I think every agent listening can completely relate to that. Like, did they actually listen to my advice? Kind of like my kids. Did they actually eat the protein today? Are they going to crash on the court? And when you look up the policy and you're like, oh, good, they did take it. That sense of relief, and you're sad for the customer for going through what they're doing, but to know that you did it right, there's nothing like that.
It's a beautiful thing. And I hear the relief in your voice. Monica, for our non-insurance agent audience, what is an umbrella policy?
Ooh, an umbrella. An umbrella is an extension of your home and your auto insurance. So just think, if you're in an accident and someone's suing you because you hurt their daughter or their son, that's what an umbrella will do. Is it'll help give you extra protection on your auto insurance, because they're probably going to sue you And
Yes.
I always like to say it's protection on your retirement. It's everything that you've worked so hard for, because your auto insurance does come and you help protect your auto. But what are you protecting your retirement on? Like,
Yes.
that's what an umbrella does. It helps protect everything you've worked so hard to accumulate.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You defined that very well. I'll add nothing to it. People like the idea of suing people, but no one thinks that they can be on the other side of that lawsuit. So without giving anything, I want you to give a general answer to this question, but don't say anything what happened with that client. What is something that someone can get sued for that they may not think they can get sued for? What would be a good example that I think I can't get sued if I were to be really mean to you on this podcast and damage your reputation? What is one of those things that customers don't think they can get sued for, but they can get sued for?
Yeah, we had a separate one, and someone was walking their dog and slipped on a little piece of ice that was on their sidewalk. The rest of the sidewalk is clean, but this one little area had a piece of ice, and their neighbor slipped and fell, and they got sued on that. And they were like, "Why? I snowblowed." Great, I'm in Wisconsin, right? So we snowblow with the little snowblower, right?
Yes.
And they missed this little patch, and it was just that little patch that and they're like, "No, I already did it." I'm like, "You know, you didn't do it to the standard of what you should have."
Yes. And there are standards depending on the location. I've been there. I have a client that has been sued for an ice patch. You got out, you shoveled. There's I know for my office, New York City ordinance is, as the leaser of my business, I'm required to have the sidewalk clean within 2 hours at the end of a storm. And it has to be clean. It has to be done. And if someone slips and falls, it's on me. So that is a great story, talking about the importance of an umbrella, and your passion is clear. I can tell how strong you are. You get excited to talk about it. Some people make the mistake of thinking, I don't have anything to lose, but you already gave the answer. That person that needs every dollar out of their check, they don't want, $20 or $100 garnished from their check because of something where they didn't have the proper coverage.
Yeah. And in the state of Wisconsin, it's up to 20% of your paycheck. So
Whoa.
if you've got a struggling mom, single mom, and she says, "Well, I can't afford $10 a month, $20 a month, even $30 a month." Can you afford 20% of your check?
No.
And we're all human. We make mistakes. I mean, they're
Yes.
called accidents for a reason. It's gonna happen. I mean, it happens. So you just have to prepare. And everyone, I could honestly talk about every single person needing an umbrella. I can make the case.
I love it. If you're in Wisconsin and you're listening, talk to Monica Titley about an umbrella policy. Thank me later. So Monica, invite me to your area of Wisconsin. Full disclosure, I lived 10 miles south of the Wisconsin border from 91 to 2000. So I'm familiar with some of the big, small cities. I'm familiar with Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee. I've never been all the way north to Green Bay. I don't own a cheesehead. I don't know how that works. I know that's the home of the origins of Happy Days and some wonderful things like that. But invite the listening audience to your area of Wisconsin. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yep. So I am in a suburb right outside of Madison, Wisconsin. So that is the capital of. Yep. And so we are home of the University of Wisconsin Badgers.
Yes.
So there you go. So we're in Badger land, specifically in my area. Madison's really beautiful, and everybody should visit Madison one time in your life, because it's got a beautiful capital, but we've got a lot of lakes that surround it. Beautiful waters, just great views. In the summer, it's nice. It's hot. In the winters, we used to get terrible winters, global warming. We don't have as terrible winters as we used to, kind of thing. But it is gorgeous here. But we are home of the Badgers. And then the entire state are cheeseheads, because, right, like professional football, it's the whole state. And cheesehead, it's a thing. It's a slab of cheese that you wear on your head.
Do you have one? Do you have one?
Of course. Of course. Of course. And not only do I have a cheese head, I also have a cheese koozie because it's like, looks like
Nice.
a block of cheese that you put a can into it too. So
Nice.
of course. And cheese curds. We eat a lot of cheese and beer. That's what we're known for here.
Well, quite a bit of beer is done. TV fans, I'm going to date myself, but that's where Laverne and Shirley, that's where they worked. So that's where the beer was created. You mentioned Madison. I know Madison because it was voted more than once best place to live in America more than once. You mentioned lakes. I think of you bordering the state of Minnesota right next door. So I think of that area. Hey, Ray, it's Kevin. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. You guys have been helping me out for a while with all the digital things you can do at Use Canopy. But some of my guys, they're still having a hard time adjusting to the digital age. Talk to the people, Ray, please.
Yes, sir. Well, Canopy Connect is the insurance data intake platform. Send a link out to your prospect. They, click on it, find their insurance carrier. We got like 350 insurance carriers on there. Click that, sign in, and they can be done there. You can ask them a few more questions you want, but we're going to pull all that insurance information, give it to you right in a nice dashboard.
That sounds pretty quick. What are we talking? 2 or 3 minutes?
Less. You can do that in 30 seconds, man.
Wow. Nick, you're a big time marketing guy. What do you think?
I think Canopy Connect is one of those tools that everybody should have in their back pocket. Makes it easy to use. You can send it out in emails and text messages. You can use it in social media campaigns, X-Date campaigns. All of those methods will work with Canopy Connect.
Guys, I got to get back to the podcast, but you heard it right here. Use Canopy Connect. Go digital. Leave old school in the past. Nick and Ray, I'll catch you guys later. Easy.
Let's go. See ya.
With the weather that you have in Wisconsin, the snow and the wind that I remember, very similar to Chicago, how important is it for people to have the proper coverages to prepare for a Wisconsin winter?
Oh, very. The snow, I mean, it can be a beautiful day out and it's somewhat flurries and you'll hit a patch of black ice. Right. It is just one of those things where you can be going slow and whoosh, you're right off the road. And I don't think people realize that it's a real thing. I've done it on the interstate, had no idea, wound up backwards on the interstate because you hit a patch of black ice that you just didn't even know it was there. And I can be the safest driver in the world, right? We hear that all the time. Well, I'm a safe driver, or I don't drive a lot. But here, between here and the grocery store, you could easily hit a patch of ice. So you have to have, you have to make sure that you have that coverage because you slide and don't realize it and you're in a residential area and there's someone out building a snowman. I hate saying that, but it's true. It can happen. So it's very important to have not only the coverage, but to have the right coverage.
Absolutely. So you gave the auto example of the patch of black ice. It's easy to mistake, right? We can think it's tar. We can think it's a mirage. We can think it's water. But after you slip, it's too late. What about on the home insurance side? What are some of the natural disasters and risks that are unique to your area of Wisconsin where it's important to have a local agent that can give expert advice as opposed to buying insurance from an 800 number or a .com?
Yep, we just had a storm a week and a half ago for hail. Hail is a big thing. Hail and wind have really hit us hard the last 2 years. Really bad, actually. We do have some tornadoes, not a ton of tornadoes, to be honest. That's not really a thing. But hail has become a bane of my existence. And same with wind, because you're getting a lot of windstorms with a lot of rain, which is making, we have a ton of trees here. We have a lot of trees here. And when that ground gets soft and that wind starts going, trees are coming down. And most people don't realize, your neighbor's tree falls on your house. That's your homeowner's insurance.
Yes.
And if you're choosing to self-insure and have a $10,000 deductible, that's out of your pocket. That's not your neighbor's fault with their tree. So having a local agent to actually explain and educate you is so important to like, and I love when you have a higher deductible, and that's great, but you also need to understand what that actually means to you. What does that mean? Because some people get a little angry not realizing that someone else's tree. Or in the same thing on the auto side, if someone else hits you and you don't have comp and collisions, like if they hit you, you're walking away with nothing. So having a local agent to educate you on those things, so important.
I love it. You have absolutely established the value of a local agent. That's one of the reasons I did the 50 podcast with 50 agents from 50 different states. It's all unique. All 4 decades of my experience in this business is not enough to understand the unique risks that are faced by your customers in your community. Monica, tell me about your team. Tell me about the people that work for you, and tell me whether you're hiring and how hard is it to get a license to get into the insurance business in Wisconsin?
When he said, tell me about my team, I'm like, are you going to let me do a hiring video here? Because I'd love to find some people. No.
Well, say that. Do the video, do the plug, do the commercial.
Oh man, it's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard. I have 2 people. I have 2 staff members right now. I've always wanted to be a little bit of a smaller business. I like the small home feeling. You walk into our office and it's not stuffy at all. It's very down to earth here in Wisconsin. That's kind of how all of us are here. Both of my staff members have been with me for more than 5 years, so that's
Nice.
great. I'm trying to find new staff, and I'll be honest, the state of Wisconsin, our premiums are pretty low. We're one of the lowest in the country, and so sometimes that's a little hard finding staff that want to earn commission, but yet you don't get as much commission as some of the other surrounding states and things like that. So that's been a little bit of a hurdle, and then just finding people who love and have the passion for it. Our agency is very focused on education. So
Yes.
as you could probably, like you said, I have a very big passion. I geek out about insurance and it's great. And we really strive for educating our customers and making sure that they have the right thing, because I want to be able to sleep at night, and finding people who have that same mentality sometimes can be a challenge. So finding not only someone who wants to help someone, but someone who is also, it's a sales position. So you have to have a little bit of that assumptive and that sales aggression, but not enough that we're creeping people out either. So like it's
The
a fine
healthy
line
border
in
in between.
finding staff.
I love it. So do a plug, do a 30-second commercial. If you're listening to this, you meet this criteria, contact Monica, do your 30-second plug. Let's put a commercial out there. Tell me what
Excellent.
you're looking for and tell me who it is and who wants to apply. Let's do it.
Excellent. Well, first and foremost, I always say I can train you how to sell, but I can't train you to care for people. So first and foremost, if you're a caring person, someone who actually wants to help people, please come visit our titleyinsurance.com is our website. Go to titleyinsurance.com. I would love to have staff members that care for people, who want to educate them and want to talk to people. Right? We have the phones are ringing. I just need people there to answer them and talk. And I always say that it's a customer service position with a sprinkle of sales, because really you're just getting to know people. And if you like to do that, you just sprinkle in a little bit of sales along the way, and you'll be very successful, not only in monetarily wise, but you'll also be able to help people, which hopefully helps you sleep better at night. So titleyinsurance.com.
I love it. I love it. Where do they apply? So if you heard and you observed Monica's passion, and you'd like to work for a passionate boss like that, and a job where you get to help people and make money, customer service with the sprinkling of a sale, that's it. There's your opportunity to jump in. How hard is it to get a license in the state of Wisconsin to get into the insurance business?
You do have to take a test. Right? At the end of the day, we are helping people, and we're taking people's money. So the state of Wisconsin does take that serious. So you do have to pass a test. It's 150 questions. It's couple hours of your time, as long as you don't have any sort of limitations. Like some people, I've had some staff, they're great, but they just can't pass the test. If you have, like, I had one with dyslexia, I'm sorry, love you, and I'm sure you could sell every day, but it is a hard test. And you just have to do a lot of memorization. We teach you the insurance, right? You come out of with the license, we actually teach you how to apply it. So all you really have to do is just pass it. And sometimes it's a little overwhelming with a lot of memorizations of terminology that's very new for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing.
But you can do
it. We encourage them. We all work really, really hard to learn these concepts, but it can be done when you apply yourself, and you can get a great opportunity. So when I listen to you describe your ideal candidate, I think of people maybe 1 foot in the teaching profession, 1 foot out, maybe a former stay-at-home mom that wants to re-enter the workforce as you did at that age, that really wants an opportunity to make a difference. So Monica, I want to pivot a little bit. You are posting on Facebook now about an amazing book that you are reading. I took a couple of glances. It absolutely inspired me. The book is Unscrew Yourself. I don't think that's the actual title, but that's the implication. Talk about the book, because I'm going to download it and listen to it next on Audible. Talk about the book and how that has inspired you.
That book is life-changing, in my opinion. The premise of it is, we all have these expectations of what our life is going to be. We get the big white house with the white picket fence. And if you don't live up to those expectations in your head, you're always going to want for more. And I'm not saying want for more is a bad thing, but you have to be happy with what you have. And then we just get so stuck in, oh, I don't have the white picket fence. You're trying to get to that next thing. What you really need to do is center within yourself.
Yes.
And really find what your expectations are, and look at your expectations, like write them down. And if they're unreasonable, then you need to change it, right? So many of us have unreasonable expectations. Like both my daughters, like I have no expectation both of them are going pro, right? Like, but sure, maybe I would think that. No, you have to look at your expectations. And I'm not saying don't dream big, but make sure that they're obtainable expectations. So the book really is about inward thinking and inward growth and getting out of your own head, because that's a lot of problem with people in any profession.
Absolutely. Monica, I love that definition. The official title of the book is Unf Yourself. There's an asterisk in there replacing the U. You can put the rest of it together and you can find the book. But I think it's inspirational because the world has changed, right? Whatever expectations we had, what we thought life would be for ourselves, our children, in my case, my grandchildren, we're in a brand new sector. We're in a whole new dimension. Everything's different. So we really must get rid of those old expectations and kind of start new, if you will. Kind of have to start over and hit the reset button and say, hey, no matter what happens tomorrow, today's a good day. It's a wonderful day. I'm going to make the most of this day.
One thing I will add is since I've read the book, and I've actually read the book twice, because it definitely came through completely different the second time, right? So you're in a different headspace in different parts of your life. So reading a book that you found to be good, read it again years later, because you're going to look at it with a whole different lens. But I read it again. But one of the big things that I've kind of adapted from there is the hula hoop theory. So one of the things I've always said is control what you can control.
Yes.
That has been my biggest saying I've said for the last 10, 15 years. It's like, control what you can control. But to really hone in on that, you really have to learn how to do that. And some people can't conceptualize the control what you control. So I was speaking with someone else, and I'm like, hula hoop, right? If you just put a hula hoop on the ground,
okay,
and I want you to get into that hula hoop,
okay,
that is all we're going to focus on.
That's it.
Because that's all you can control.
Yes.
Within that hula hoop. You can't do anything for anybody else. Within that hula hoop is all you can control. And once you master that, life changes.
Monica, I'm with you. I can put the hula hoop on the ground. I can stand within the circle. I don't know how much movement I can create, but conceptually I get it. To focus on what I can do. I love that definition. I love the visualization of the hula hoop. Monica, let's talk about the community. Ray Lynch, community, giving back. What are some of the things that are important to you in the community? What are some of the charities that are near and dear to your heart today?
Yep, absolutely. So I'm standing right above one of the my favorite charities is the Down Syndrome Awareness of Wisconsin.
Okay.
They rent part of our building from us. It is absolutely amazing. They help people with Down syndrome, our friends. They help them become more independent and teach
Yes.
them. So they have a kitchen downstairs that they teach them how to become independent and live and do those kind of things. That I love their organization and all they stand for. It's great to have new friends down there. That's one of my biggest ones, to
I
be
love
honest,
it.
is the Down syndrome awareness of
I
Wisconsin.
love it. I love it. I love it. And for them to be physically located
Mhm.
in your building, that aligns your business with your purpose every day, I would imagine.
Every day, and it's so great. I'll bring in my dog and we go for little field trips down this downstairs so that
Nice.
they bring the joy. For Christmas, we put up a Christmas tree and brought them all some presents. They came up and had some presents with us, and yeah, we try to they trick or treat with us. Yeah, it's great to bring joy. And to be honest, I think they bring more joy to my life than I bring to theirs, but it's just amazing to be so connected with them. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Down Syndrome Society. Is there another?
Yeah, so there's so many. I PTO, president of the PTOs, chamber
Wow.
president. There's I helped establish a food pantry. I do a lot with all of different organizations. I will be honest, and over the last couple of years, had to step away a little bit because the kids' schedule has gotten a little crazy. But our local Optimist Club is definitely another one that I
Okay, so
absolutely love.
timeout. I got to use a timeout. I think I'm a card carrying member of every Optimist club in the country, but I don't
No.
officially belong to any. No, I don't belong to any. But tell me, what is the Optimist Club about? Is that a place where I can go and complain about everything?
No. No, absolutely not. So,
Tell me about the
this
Optimist Club. What is it all about? We need that.
can I yes, I'm gonna diverge just a little bit of how I found them. So I had no idea what the
Please,
Optimist Club is,
please.
but I always define myself as an internal optimist, right? I always try
Yes,
to find the positive in everything, right?
yes.
Everything has an upswing. And I was literally cold calling at my agency when I was probably a week into my agency, a week. And I was calling someone, and the lady answers, and she's humoring me. And then she's like, "Well, are you part of the Optimist Club?" I'm like, "Well, I'm an optimist, but I'm not part of this club. What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Well, is there one local? Where are you at?" And I'm like, "I'm in some prairie." And so I literally was on the phone with the cold calling person. And I'm not making this stuff up. And I'd only been an agent for a week. And I'm Googling where to find an optimist. And sure enough, there was one here in some prairie. That I got off the phone with her. And she said she'd only do business with people that do business with Optimist Clubs. So I never did actually earn her business. But either way, that's fine. I reached out to the local Optimist Club, and within a year, I was president for a couple of years, secretary. So yeah, it's the local Optimist. I literally the next week I went to the meeting and have been ever since been an optimist. It's a club, and their whole thing is obviously there's to be optimistic, of course,
Yes,
right? But to
yes.
make good in children's lives. It's all about kids. It's focusing on kids. So we do scholarships for kids. We do different events for children. We do some clubs at some of the local schools that are lower income and things like that. So we focus on growing kids to make sure that they have the best life that they should have.
What an amazing time in the world to be a member of the Optimist Club. I'm literally, all jokes aside, I'm literally blown away that this club exists. I think in one of
Mhm.
my descriptions on social media, I think I described myself as an eternal optimist. So I love that description. I love it. Monica, you partnered with Tim Dieter and you helped put together one of the conferences that many agents, I think from 35 states from around the country, have come to it. Why is networking within our profession so important? Why is it important? Why was it important for you and Tim to start the Midwest Conference? And what have you gained from it? Maybe something that you didn't expect that you would.
Friendship. I had no idea that I would find so many new friends. As a small business owner, independent agent, sometimes you just feel like you're on an island. And you really do. And Tim and I were meeting and helping do some stuff for the New York forum. And I made a comment, it'd be nice to do something around here. And Tim reached out and said, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. I used to run a project management department. So event planning and things like that was really easy for me. But I had no idea how much of an island I was until you find the rest of the people on deserted islands. And then when you finally see it, it's like, oh, I'm not alone, right? Like we are still on our own island, but we're not alone on an island, right? So
Yes.
like we can still connect and things like that. So it has been, it's been so joyous for me too, because I love planning events. So I get to a little bit of event planning and I'm still an insurance agent. So it's kind of nice doing that. But I've got so many friends from it, really.
I love it. 2015, we find you on Craigslist. 2015, 1 week later, you telemarketing, you find the Optimist Club. 2025, how much is digital marketing, digital presence playing a role and how people find you and how you find people?
I don't know that you want the answer to this one.
I want the truth.
You want the truth. I'm not very good at it. The truth is I'm kind of like an 80-year-old soul stuck in a 40-year-old body. To be completely honest, I'm not a huge, I know it's important. So I do sign up and I do have partnerships with some of our vendors and things like that with the digital side, but I prefer to stay off of it. And I know that sounds weird. And I know that that's counter to everything everybody says. And it's probably a missed opportunity on my side, but I personally want to be where my feet are. And my feet are here, right here in my office. So doing the digital side on all of that is just not my cup of tea. I'd rather go to the local Optimist meeting, go to the chamber meeting and meet people and do it organically.
There's no apology in your statement. You want to exist in the real world and you want to leave the virtual world for the people that are in the virtual world. There's no apology. The true answer is always the best answer. I love the answer. I do. I would not want you to make up anything at all. That's no good for anybody. The truth is always the best. And you're doing an amazing job of being present. Monica, we're going to start to land the plane a little bit. We got a really good sense of who you are, how you show up in your community, what you're doing with the girls. Your day starts probably what time in the morning?
6.
6 in the morning. It ends at 9 o'clock after the last practice, last training session is done. How do you wind down at the end of the day?
Well, I don't know that there is any winding down. I think it's just a switch that you kind of just shut off at this point. I really don't know. Oh, well, actually, yes, I do. I read a little bit and I sit in my hot tub.
That's a heck of a decompressed strategy. That's a heck of a strategy. The hot
but I
tub.
guess I don't. Yeah.
Go ahead. Talk about the hot tub. You're in Wisconsin. It's cold the majority of the year. Your hot tub,
Yeah.
is that something you can get in any time of the year and decompress a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess I always forget that the hot tub is such a joy for me when I talk to people. But yeah, that is I find a lot of enjoyment out of it. There's some trees all around me and I just sit in it and just unwind and I do a little bit of warm water therapy too. So like I'll sit in the center of the hot tub and I'll be like, yeah, this is my workout. And I do a little bit of moving the body and stuff like that. But it's just quiet and the light, and usually it's nighttime. So the lights are bright and beautiful. But most people don't realize in Wisconsin, it gets pretty hot in the summer. It can be 90, 100 some days during the day. I'm still in the hot tub. I'm still in it.
I love it. I remember the hot days in Wisconsin. I want to say the highway is 94 that takes you from Illinois to Wisconsin. Yep. And the one thing I remember about the summer is from my house, I could hear the Harley Davidson bikes riding up to the big festival that happens in Wisconsin every summer. Am I right? Is it the Harley Fest? What's the festival that they're all coming up for?
Can't remember what the name of it is, but yes, they're here. They come through Wisconsin quite a bit. We have a lot of Harleys, just because the weather's so great every 9 months out of the year.
Love it.
Right. So yeah, we have a lot of Harleys. There's a Harley Davidson right down the street. So we get a lot of bikes coming through, and especially the hills and the trees and the leaves and everything. Like, it's pretty beautiful.
I love
I
it.
can't remember what it's called, but there is a Harley Fest that they do. Yes.
Harley Fest. That's it. That's it. I remember the bikes coming up. Monica, you have been an amazing guest. Is there anything you want to talk about? You want to shout out something you wish I should have asked you that's on your mind you'd like to talk about now? You want to say go Badgers? You want to shout out the team for the girls? Any closing comments? Here's what I want to ask you. So closing comments first, and then I'll ask you the one more question after that.
Yeah. No, I'd say go Badgers. And just for everyone out there, remember, mindset is everything. Control what you can control and get in your hula hoop.
Well, you just answered the second question. I was going to ask you for a word of encouragement for anyone that wants to be in this profession or not in this profession, just having a hard time. And I think that's an amazing answer. Control what you can control, be optimistic, get in the hula hoop, and focus on the things that are there. Monica, you have been absolutely fantastic guest. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to be with us here today. So let me thank my sponsors, and then we're going to give you a round of applause before we let you go. So thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your busy day to watch this amazing podcast with this amazing Allstate agent from the great state of Wisconsin. I hope you enjoyed our trip to Wisconsin today. Big thank you to all of you that have already subscribed and hit the notification button so you can follow the podcast and get notified when great content like this becomes available. Thank you to my sponsors popping up behind me, Carol Media for all your social media needs, Canopy Connect if you're looking to go more digital, and Win Trust Financial. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And last, definitely not least, please put your warm Wine Down with Kev hands together and let's give an amazing round of applause in the comments. Talk to me about how much you love hearing from and learning from Monica Titley as a guest. Monica Titley.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me.